We are 6 women.
We are wordsmiths.
We are magic.
We are curious. We are contradictions.
We are wanderers.
We are people of many names.
We are mind trekkers and story weavers.
We are adventurous spirits.
We continue to grow. We've been baptized in the font of dream and memory.
We are partly truth and partly fiction.
I am Gail.
I am Joanne.
I am Margie.
I am Katie.
I am Marion.
I am Mary.
We are the Mystic Order of East Alabama Fiction Writers.
Greetings. It's time for another Mystic Order podcast. This is Mystic Mary, the navigator for today's podcast. And before we go any further, let's see who's here today. Who have we got?
Oh, hi. I'm Mystic Margie.
And I'm the Queen Gail.
Oh, the Queen, Gail, and Margie are here. That means there are 3 missing mystics. We'll give you guys a second at home to see if you can figure out who they are. Ding, ding, ding.
Are we giving a prize for this if somebody figures it out?
Yes, if somebody figures it out and tells us on our Facebook page, then we will give them a shout out. Just the greatest prize imaginable.
We'll give them nothing.
Yeah, well, they'll get notoriety and fame.
Well, we could send them a sticker.
A sticker. I can't find my stickers.
I have some.
I have some.
Okay, so who are the missing mystics? Well,
No, you can't tell them.
oh, you just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys come up with the missing mystics, and we do miss our missing
and
mystics.
we miss them. We miss them.
All right, so the topic of today's podcast is life hacks. Now, these are mystic life hacks, so they may not be the same as other people's life hacks. Let's talk about
But ours are the best.
Of course they're the best. That's why they're the mystic ones. And so one of the life hacks that we all us mystics and our friends use is to look for mysticism in our weeks. So let's talk about, did y'all like that?
Yes, segue.
That's a mystic life hack right there, is find your segue, connect your dots. All right, so who had a mystic week?
I had a mystic week. I went to the gorgeous and beautiful Orange Beach, Alabama, which some people that don't live in the South have no idea that Alabama has a beach, and we have a beautiful beach. And Orange Beach is right next to Gulf Shores, and I always go to Orange Beach. I will say that because the Gulf there is very close to Mobile Bay, generally the Gulf can be roughed up with a lot of seaweed and flora and fauna. But this week, my week at the beach, it was absolutely glass-like. It was the most beautiful beach I've ever seen at Orange Beach.
Lovely.
One thing that isn't beautiful, and I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but it's just so totally wrong that I want to mention it again. So if anybody has any beach power, they can get this remedied. But that is, on the beaches of Orange Beach and Gulf Shores, they have flagpoles with a flag on it, and the flag says, leave only your footprints.
And flags. Leave your flags.
And your flagpoles and flag. And it's much more disruptive than the plastic people throw on the ground, because I can walk down the beach and collect that and put it in the trash cans, but I can't walk down the beach and collect the flagpoles and put them in the trash can. So can Orange Beach, whoever you are out there, if you have any control over this, please get rid of those. And last off, I want to shout out to Sea and Suds, which is a restaurant. And every Friday and Tuesday night, they have all the mullet you can eat. Well, we've realized this time, it's delicious, fried mullet. We realized this time that all the mullet we can eat is the first serving they bring us because we're elderly.
Right.
It was filled up with snowbirds. We went at, not that we're not, but we aren't because we live in the South. But we decided to go early to miss the crowd, so we went like 4:35, and we could hardly get a seat. And no one in the room had anything but gray hair or a bald head.
So you got to go late at night.
You got to go after the snowbirds.
What about you, Margie? Did you have a mystic week?
I did, and it was topped off by a presentation I did at Tuskegee University part of a global humanities grant, a grant that I was included in because of Queen Gail.
Oh, right.
Who happens to swim with the woman, Rhonda Collier,
I know-
Dr. Rhonda
I know
Collier.
people.
Yeah, who wrote the grant, and she was talking to Gail and said, "Do you know any art people in case I have to have one if I get the grant?" And Gail said, "Oh yeah, Margie, she's be perfect."
But it was for
Hey.
international art.
It is.
It's-
It was a global. Anyway, I've worked on this presentation for a couple of months because I was so nervous about it. But it was like an hour and a half and it was great. I mean, not that my presentation was great, but it was well received, and I'm getting paid for it.
Yay.
So,
So,
Yeah, and
now
you're
it's-
an international person, so
Yeah.
you can. You've taught. Name some of the places you've taught art.
Oh, I've taught London, Madrid, Italy, Montepulciano, Greece, Finland, Chile, St. Petersburg, Russia. Yeah, I used to be with the European Council of the University of Georgia. So I taught abroad every summer from 1999 to 2017 when I retired. But anyway, the Tuskegee is great, and all the professors there, they were all kind of interdisciplinary. And I met their art professor, whose name is Bruce Phillips, who's just a really nice guy. And his compliment on my presentation meant a lot to me because he said, "You've introduced me to artists that I wasn't aware of." And I said, "Well, it's so hard to keep up, if you're teaching and working in art, there's so many artists you could have talked about."
Did you get to see? Speaking of art, did you get to see the Paul Rudolph Chapel?
No, I didn't. I rode on the outside, but I will go back down there and see it. I mean, it's gorgeous on the outside.
And Paul Rudolph is an Auburn graduate.
Right, and one of his sons, Nate Rudolph, was in my art classes when I was a freshman.
Really?
He was real cute
and the chapel's in Tuskegee.
in Tuskegee on the
Have
campus.
you seen it?
But it sounds like a Mystic road trip.
Yeah, we ought. If we go on the Mystic Road trip, we'll also go to visit. Wait for it. This professor there, and I'll think of his name, that will show us all this memorabilia.
Okay.
Like the thing he showed me that I like the most, other than the meter that Carter found, a great big huge meter. I guess it fell from space.
Meteor.
Meteor.
Barking
Sorry.
meter.
Like
Sorry,
3 feet.
meteor. Sorry, but anyway,
I want to see that meteor.
and now I'm trying to think of the professor's name. But my favorite thing he showed me was some coffee beans that a student from Africa brought to Carter in exchange for tuition to Tuskegee, and they were
Nice.
accepted. And they've got the coffee beans in
Oh,
this.
nice. Like Jack and the Magic Beans.
Yeah, so it's a little
And I
small museum.
Yeah, his birth home,
Yeah.
George Washington Carver.
Yeah.
I mean, his home where he lived, he and his wife lived, and they do give tours of that. Not
Yeah.
so much. Oh, and I should say, at Tuskegee University, every single person wears a mask on campus.
But what isn't it? Isn't George? Whose museum? It's the Washington Museum, not the Carter Museum.
No,
the
Carver.
house.
George Washington Carver.
The house you toured, though, isn't it?
Well, one house is his house where he lived.
Oh, okay. Well, we need to go
There's
because
several
I need
houses.
to remember all this stuff
Right,
now.
right.
The last time I did a tour was probably 15 years ago. Anyway, it's a beautiful chapel.
Well, my Mystic Week, other than seeing my mystical granddaughters who are so precious, is Petey got out of the house one day and barked and barked and barked, and this nice man brought him back and then volunteered to do some yard work, and we hired him to clear out some stuff behind the teepee. But first, I went back there to make sure I was not going to let him cut over the planted longleaf pine that our teepee friend Joseph and his wife Aiden planted back there. So I found the little longleaf pine seedling, and I covered it up with a little grill, and they cleared and did some yard work, and that was great. And then TP Joe came back and thanked me for salvaging the seedling, and then said to me the other day, "I have some news. That was just a clump of grass."
It wasn't the
So
longleaf.
I very carefully salvaged a little clump of grass.
Well, what about the longleaf
Well,
pine?
we can't. I looked and looked. We can't find it. They actually planted others. So anyway, we're hoping they're sending those little tap roots down. So anyway, if you need any grass salvaged, let me know. That was my Mystic Week. So things are pretty bad at Chez Moi. If that was my Mystic Week. We finished watching Breaking Bad, so my brain is, we rewatched the whole thing, so my brain is broken.
My brain is too. I got up this morning at 4:30 and went to the pool, came home, went to Tai Chi. Barely beat you here from Tai Chi. Margie was there.
I was at Tai Chi.
And
too.
I'm still, just kind of blank-minded. I've got notes, though.
Well, it's a good thing that our topic is life hacks because it sounds like we all need them. So we're going to share life hacks. Some of them we might have read on our cell phones late at night instead of trying to get to sleep. And some of them we may have come up with on our own and just employ them on a regular basis. So we don't have a real strict format. We're just going to chat.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Who's got a life hack that needs sharing? And then we're going to decide after you share if we think it's a good one or not.
I want to go with my first one.
Okay.
All the mystics today are wearing my life hack, and it's the adult bib.
It's very nice.
Although I'm not serving food. And it actually has a tag on it that says the Gale.
Mm-hmm.
But these bibs are made out of rising cloths that you put over bread when rising. You can get them at your famous Walmarts. And I think they're $1 each. And you run a shoestring through one of the hems, and voila, you have an adult bib. And all of you people out there who are laughing right at this point, I want to tell you some of the things that you can use them for. Best is if you're on a trip and you're eating while driving, and I can guarantee you whatever you're eating is going to be on your clothes, and you're going somewhere nice. But if you have the adult bib, that will not happen.
Ding, ding, ding.
It covers your whole body.
Yeah, they're big.
And if you are all dressed up and ready to go to, say, a formal affair, and you forgot to brush your teeth and it's time to brush your teeth, put on your adult bib and brush away, and don't forget to floss.
I do want to add that when you sit, the adult bib covers your lap as well as your torso.
That's right.
It's quite large.
That brings me to the next good way to use your adult bib. Mm-hmm. If you are trimming your nails...
Go ahead.
And your wife is aggravated at vacuuming up your nails, then what you can do is trim your nails and file them with your adult bib on, and then pick up the bottom and walk outside and let go of the bottom, and that's the cleanup too.
Do you just like, poof, when you get like, poof,
Sometimes.
shish them away?
Yes. How did you know I did that?
Let it go.
Let it go. Let the clippings go.
Also, if you trim your beard, you can do it with the adult bib, and all the hairs are caught there. If you're cutting your husband's hair, you can turn the adult bib backwards and get all that hair on the adult bib rather than the T-shirt he's wearing. So, and last but not least, I cook in mine because I dry my hands on it. And then because they're 100% cotton, I just throw them in with a little bleach, and they look beautiful, just like new. And that's my life hack.
We've got more uses for adult bibs.
Yeah, I have seen you dust with your adult.
I have too. I've seen her walk right by a trinket and go, this needs dusting, and pick it up and dust it.
I have not blown my nose on the adult bib,
No, I
so
wouldn't
they're my
either.
limits.
So another thing you can do with the adult bib that Gail demonstrated is if somebody knocks on your door and they can see in your house and you don't want to see them, you can cover your head with your adult bib and you become invisible. And also, we're recording this right before Halloween. You could cover your head with it and be a ghost.
Yeah,
That's
or
right.
You can actually do it around your head and let
Yeah.
it fall down.
Yeah,
And
you could
be
drape it.
a ghost.
Well, let me
Yeah.
say that my son, the Mystic Prince, has a podcast, and they call it Mom's Adult Blanket, and they laugh at me about it. But then I will say that the Mystic Prince has Southern fried chicken all over the front of his shirt half the time.
He should be wearing is the Gale.
Yeah, that's right.
Another thing you can do, which I'm real keen on because I've been watching Breaking Bad, is if you commit a crime and you have to wipe up your fingerprints, ta-da, you just wipe them up with your adult bib.
That's right.
You know, before you throw the gun over the
And I wish you
fence.
could see how attractive they are on my Mystic sisters. Margie has on her gift for today an adult bib, and Mary has on her adult bib. So
They're pretty.
Mary would need to do a TikTok with the adult bib.
We do. Okay, so that is an excellent mystic life hack. So What do y'all think we should rate it? 1 is useless, 4 is excellent. 1 through 4. What do you rate the adult bib,
I
Margie?
would do a 4+.
A 4+. Gail, what do you rate your own?
I'd give it a 5.
A 5 out of 4. I'm going to definitely give it a 4 to 5. The only reason I can't give it a 5 out of 4 is you have to remember to put it on.
That's true. I just leave. I just leave a permanent knot in mine and pull it over my head. But the disadvantage of that is sometimes you'll get food on your turtleneck if you're a big slob.
Oh dear.
So if you tie it loosely, though, you can just repeat.
But tell us about where you get the shoestrings, because the shoestrings are an investment. So where do you get the shoestrings, Gail?
Well, I was going to the ball markets, but for some reason in Auburn, and this defies my imagination, they were $10.98 for a set of white shoestrings, size 40, by the way, audience. If you want to try this on your own, you can. But maybe and perhaps, if you can name the 3 missing mystics, maybe you'll get one in the mail.
Some shoestrings?
No, the mystic.
The whole thing put
The whole
together.
kit and caboodle.
But people have started giving me white shoestrings. And in fact, last night at the art gallery, someone said, "Were you looking for white shoestrings?" And he pulls them out of his pocket and hands it to me at the art show.
Now that's a mystic moment.
Well, yes, but I have so many. I just had to limit my mystic moments.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. That was an excellent life hack. And Margie, you could wear these adult bibs a lot when you're painting, that kind of thing.
Yes, they're excellent. They're better than a kind of apron.
They're kind of like a human drop cloth.
That's right.
All right. What's your life hack?
Well,
today?
this one I use in travel all the time, and this is one that I've actually used when you're traveling and you're washing things out by hand, like your underwear, whatever, and it's hard to dry because you can wring it and it won't dry. But what you do is you take a towel and you put it on the floor and you lay out after you've wrung your underwear or whatever bathing suit, and then you roll it up in the towel and then you stomp on it as hard as you can. You stomp, 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 and when you take it out, it's almost dry. You can just.
What do you do again? You
stomp on it. Like,
can you repeat the steps again?
Okay.
Was stomp, stomp.
Wash out.
No, the stomp, stomp part.
Okay. Roll the towel up.
I just want to hear you say stomp, stomp.
And then when you got it all rolled up,
let's do it together.
Stomp, 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 stomp,
stomp, stomp, stomp.
Nobody's going to listen to this because we're stupid.
And then when you unroll the towel, you have almost dry underwear, whatever, socks. But you do have a wet towel.
That's okay. It's their problem.
Only drawback. But it really, really works.
Okay.
This is better than my hairdryer trick.
What's your hairdryer trick?
The same thing. Put it on a towel and dry your underwear that you've just washed out.
Oh, yeah. I use the hairdryer. But I can also use the stomp.
About drying hair online, where the woman put her sweater over her head and then she stuck a hairdryer into the sleeve of the sweater.
Why would you do that? Why not just dry your hair?
Because it fluffed up like a hair.
So it's like one of the old-fashioned hair dryers where you put the cap on it.
But it was her sweater.
So she used a sweater.
She kind of wrapped it around, but left one arm out and put the hair dryer.
Nice. So let's rate the stomp, stomp, stomp. What are you going to give the stomp, stomp, stomp?
Well, because I'm going to use it, I'm forced to give it a 4.
Well, I'll give it a 4.
I'll give it a 4, even though I don't know if I'll ever get to travel again. Okay. And what about the hair drying sweater with a hair dryer?
No. Let's not rate that one.
Okay.
Well, I have curly hair, so I'm always trying to figure out how to deal with it. And there's a lot of weird things that people with curly hair do to dry their hair. And one of them is to put a sieve over your head and dry it through a sieve.
Like a colander?
Yeah, because
you
you're
could
not
get
supposed
electrocuted
to brush
that
it.
way,
I know.
can't you?
And you're supposed to. I don't know. I'm not very good with hair and stuff, but that was a curly hair.
That reminds
life
me
hack
of
that
the
I've never
Green
tried.
Mile.
Yeah, how?
Yeah, we'd be electrocuted with that sieve on your head.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, I don't have very many life hacks. I've got one really good one. Surround yourself with interesting people. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Then you don't have to be interesting.
That's my life hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be interesting, too.
Well, you got to be interesting enough so that they'll hang out with you.
So they'll come over to your house.
But
Maybe you can be quietly interesting.
yeah, you can be subtly interesting, which, by the way, none of y'all are. Y'all are all just outwardly interesting. So I hang out with you, and I'm going to give myself a 4 on that life hack.
Oh, I'm giving you a 4.
I'll give you
Okay,
a 4 too.
4. Good.
Okay, well, my next life hack is you're going to have to listen out there now, audience, and that is I'm going to tell you how to hang a picture or 2 pictures or 4 pictures or 5 pictures and get them all straight on the wall and exactly where you want
Oh,
them.
good. I need this life hack.
And the first thing you do is you buy some newsprint. And newsprint, if you're going to, you can, if you're moving because you're downsizing because you're elderly, then you can go to the U-Haul store and buy for $10 a box of already cut newsprints to wrap up your dishes in. And I do that, but I also buy it for hanging my pictures. And I recently got from a wonderful artist that's estate some tiles, and I got, I think, 5 of them. And I wanted to hang them, but it's hard to just hammer nails in a wall 5 times and get them all wrong. So what you do is you take your newsprint and you put your picture on top of it, and including the frame, all of it on top, and then you draw a line around it and cut out a piece of newsprint the size of the picture you're going to put on the wall.
A template.
A template. Very good. I wish I'd said that. And then what you do is you measure on your original picture where the nail needs to be. So you'll pull the wire up and see where it comes. And usually I use a ruler because I'm ADHD. But I put a dot. Well, first of all, excuse me, let me go back to the first thing. You fold your template over so you've got to and open it back up, and you have a line where the very center of your picture is. You take a pencil and you put a dot where the nail needs to go. If you're hanging a lot of pictures, you've got to write on your template the name of the picture, or you won't know which picture goes where when you get ready. The other thing you need for this, you need 3 things. You need your newsprint, you need a pencil, and you need blue painter's tape because it will not take the paint off the wall when you put the paper up. So, and you also should write the word bottom at the bottom so you don't accidentally hang your paper upside down. And then you can do all your pictures this way. And you can put them, it doesn't matter what size, and I've got, my mystics get to see.
That's a big one.
How big your picture can be. And this picture must have been of woods because that's what I wrote on it. I also put the word bottom on it so I can glance up at them on the wall and see that I've got them going the right way. And I put mine on the floor and look at them, and I have kind of a good idea where I want them, but I tape all these templates on the wall. And then I spend the next good hour moving them around because I hate my original idea and it doesn't look good with the furniture under it, the right size. So I tape them on the wall, and when I get them where I want them, I take nails and hammer the template on the dot into the wall. And then I take my first picture, and I can take that template down if you do it one picture at a time. But if you take all the templates down, you don't know which one goes where. So I just hammer right through the template paper. Then I'll put the picture on it and then just reach under it and pull the paper and tear it off. When you get through, your pictures are absolutely straight because you know where the middle was, and they're absolutely where you want them.
And you don't have a million holes in your wall where you had to move it up 1/4 of an inch or down 1/4 of an inch, and sometimes your holes are bumping into each other, so you have to just absolutely move your picture.
Absolutely. Well, I absolutely hope to get it right. Well, my husband in the summer had to paint houses because we were school teachers and they're paid pitifully. And so in order to be able to travel and so forth, we both had extra jobs. And so we don't hammer nails in our wall unless we're absolutely sure where they go.
I'm giving it a 4, Gail.
Good.
Yeah.
Next time I hang a picture. And I've got a roll of newsprint. A roll.
Yeah, that'll do. That's fine.
I saw this life hack about, you know how when you're hanging your picture and you're trying to hold your hand up there and get that wire right over that hook, and it's hard sometimes to get it right on the hook. I saw some kind of life hack about how you can slide some kind of little thing down there and do it for you, but I forgot it. And that's my problem with every life hack I ever hear. I forget them.
Yeah, me too.
So,
because when you said we were doing life hacks, I had no idea what that was because I'm quite elderly and I'm not up with the latest things. So I went online to see what life hacks were. And I've forgotten every one I read.
I'm a sucker for them. I read them all the time, and I either think that's stupid or that's brilliant, and I forget them all. So therefore, I just go around hacked up. All right.
One that I saw that was very funny. You could use an unused treadmill that you never use
Yeah.
as a conveyor belt.
For what? To convey what?
Like you can hook it up to your pickup truck that's filled with logs, and then turn it on, and then let the logs roll down it into a pile.
Oh, okay, so I can load the 500-pound.
I'm giving that a
conveyor
1.
belt
I'm giving that a 1.
into the truck I don't own to convey the rocks from one the back of the truck.
You
to
could
the
kill
other.
somebody that
I'm
way.
definitely giving that a
I
1.
thought it was fairly.
You know what I think one should do with all those bicycles that you don't, you buy a exercise bike and you never use it.
Yeah.
And there's just millions of them at yard sales, and not anymore. The smaller ones, now they're big and you can't use those. But if you see the smaller ones, you should buy every one of them and spray paint them a different color and take them to Burning Man for your art exhibit.
Oh, okay. Well, that implies you're going to Burning Man.
Well, of course you're going to Burning
Are you going
Man.
to Burning Man?
I go every year.
I'm kind of intrigued by Burning Man, but I think it's a bit much for me at this age.
It's changed because I've never been, but it's changed because you have to pay now to go. You barter when you're there. But a friend of mine's daughter's partner has made a film about Burning Man. That's pretty awesome. And I have friends that go. A lot of people I taught with would go every year because their sons or daughters were artists, and they would go. But I mean, it's out in the middle of the desert.
Right.
People ride around naked and wear costumes. And
Okay, let me say I lied.
With lots of bright, weird lights. I've watched several documentary things about Burning Man, and
some
and
of
it
the
looks
sculptures
some of
are
it's really
awesome.
cool looking. But
Well,
I think I'd rather just watch.
since
the
I
movies at
lied,
this
I will
point.
say, though, that one of my very best friends goes every year, and then he reports back to me.
so you feel
And
like
he wanted to know what I would do if I was, putting up an art thing at Burning Man. And some of them, or I don't know how they get all that stuff out to the
I
desert.
don't either.
they have tractor trailers. I mean, they really. I mean, they are really incredible.
Yeah, they're really into it. And
But I just thought everybody at Burning Man could get exercise while they were there on this art project. See?
maybe we could get the bicycles hooked up to a generator, and they could generate their own electricity for some of those electrical light shows. Because aren't they off the grid?
I think so.
And there's a lot of light shows. So I think buying these bicycles, painting them, hooking them up to generators, and taking them out to Burning Man is an excellent life hack.
What I love about this is Mary doesn't travel.
I used to. We can use those conveyor belts on pickup trucks to move the bikes from one end to the other.
I knew there'd be use for my conveyor belt.
I want to say one other thing. My friend who goes to Burning Man asked me, who never has been to Burning Man, what he could take to Burning Man to barter. And so I really gave it some serious thought, and I thought, well, you need sunglasses if you're in the desert. So I went to all these yard sales and bought multiple sunglasses, and we decided we were going to decorate them. And so we got things like barrettes with Bart on them, and glued them to the sunglasses or whatever, feathers. We had all kind of sunglasses.
But you decorated them?
Yeah, we decorated them. They were very funky and very cool. What we didn't know is when he got the sunglasses, these plastic sunglasses in the desert, all the decorations
Melted.
well, they either melted or they just kind of curled around the sunglasses.
Well, that sounds like it could be a very kind of psychedelic experience, kind of like Dali, just the melting
And,
feathers.
I could tell my friend was very disappointed in me because I had failed him. But then I suggested for his art project the bicycles, which he said, how am I going to get them there?
Well, now we know those conveyor
right.
belt trucks. Good. You got to tell him.
I want to shout out to that friend, Hans Paul. And so now I'll know if you listen to my podcast
That's
or you're
right,
just
Hans.
lying to me.
Well, I have a hack because I just thought of it from you talking about bartering. That's if you go to Africa, I've got a life hack for bartering because when I went to Africa, we stayed in tents. See, I used to travel extensively. I've been a lot of places. And everybody brought little doodads from home they thought they might want. One girl brought her Maybelline makeup collection. It was called the Safari collection of makeup. And she also brought her hot rollers, which we had no power, so I'm not sure what she was going to do with them. A lot of people brought cigarettes. Some people brought really good chocolate. I brought Stridex medicated pads to wipe my face down every night because we only had half a cup of water a day. So at the end of the day,
Did you drink your half a cup of water?
I use it to brush my teeth.
I have to drink water. I have to drink a lot of water.
Yeah, we had a little bit of water with our meals, but we had a half a cup of just do what you want to with water. So some of the guys would shave, some of them wouldn't. I would use it to brush my teeth or whatever. But at the end of the day, my Stridex medicated pads were the hottest bargaining chip out there because, nobody had thought to bring them. So there's my hack. I got lots of cigarettes and lots of really good chocolate and beer for the price of a Stridex medicated pad.
Well, I think.
Did you smoke those cigarettes?
Yeah, I used to smoke until I was 23, until I got pregnant. From 16 to 23.
I was 26 when I quit.
Yeah.
When I got pregnant. I think that I would take the Gale,
The Gale.
the bib,
Okay.
to barter.
Think of all you could use it for. No, just to use in Africa.
Yeah.
You could wipe the sweat off your face. You could brush your
Yeah.
teeth with the adult bib.
Mm-hmm.
You could wear it over your head
To keep
protect
from
the sun.
sunburning.
That's right.
Yeah, we didn't sweat very much because of the dry.
So dry.
Because it's so dry. So let's go back and rate some of these things. What are we going to rate our bring the bicycle exhibit to Burning Man using the conveyor pickup truck and to generate electricity hack?
Definitely 4.
A 4?
I'm giving it a 4 for the amusement value.
Okay. I'm only going to give it a 3 because I'm probably not going to actually go to Burning Man.
Yeah.
But y'all go and take the pictures.
Also, you probably aren't going to run around to yard sales and buy exercise
Yeah, I'm
bikes.
actually not going to do any.
You could probably go on next door and just ask for the old ones, and they
Yeah.
put them all in your yard like they did the toilets in the book The Help.
Yeah. Well, I have an old conveyor belt. a walking machine, treadmill in my house, and it's like the best one ever. It's like super expensive, and it's just.
Do you dry your clothes on
We
it?
don't even do that anymore. I folded it up as small as I could get folded, which is still absolutely enormous, and shoved it into a corner. So who else has one of those shoved into a corner in their house?
They need to be donated.
You did. Everybody tell
They're
Joe
so
Dansack
heavy.
right now to get rid of that thing that he thinks he's going to use someday, even though he walks 3 miles a day at Keesel Park. He cannot bring himself to get rid of the treadmill that doesn't work.
The thing I kept forever, the exercise equipment, was the rowing machine.
Oh, yeah.
And I did row for a while, but now it's gone.
They say that about boats, that the happiest and the saddest day of your life is getting a boat, and the saddest day of your life is getting a boat.
And the happiest day is when you get rid of it.
Yeah. And so I think that about exercise equipment.
A lot of hope there. There's a lot of hope.
Yeah.
Do you remember the ones that you just stood on and strapped a big wide strap around your bottom and
and
it
it
would just
vibrated?
shake? You could just shake the fat. I was a little young for those.
Is that
but
like
some of my
a-
mama's friends had them, and
Is
I
that
loved to
like
play.
an S&M kind of thing?
I think at the time you used it when you were drying your hair.
Dry my hair.
Like you could put those vacuum cleaner hose things and put the bonnets like we were talking about a minute ago on your head, and then you could sit on your shaking machine and you could get thin and have pretty hair at the same time.
Oh, all right then.
Okay.
Well, one that I saw that I thought was cool, if you ever come across a bottle that's not a twist off, I saw this girl open the bottle by using chopsticks that were not broken apart, and she turned them around the other way. Of course, you have to carry some unopened, split.
You just gotta have those. But those things are really lightweight and like
They're very
balsa
lightweight,
wood.
and so what she did was she just put that other end that's together and just hit it, and the bottle cap just popped off.
Okay, so if
I'm
you
not doing it. I'm giving that a 1.
You forget your bottle cap opener, but it's okay because you've got your
Your
chopsticks.
I'm
in it.
giving that a 1.
I'm giving it a 1 too, but I'm going to try it first.
I have a lot of chopsticks that are wooden ones that are not open.
I'm giving mine away for Halloween treats.
You're your chopsticks?
I don't know if you noticed when you came in, I made a little Halloween basket.
It's cute.
And it's got all the chopsticks that they gave me at restaurants that I refused.
I've got a bunch of fortune cookies.
Yeah, give them away at Halloween.
Can I give away all those little plastic spoons that come with a napkin and a little fork and
Yeah.
spoon and salt and pepper?
Yeah.
Can I give those away? Because I feel bad throwing them away, but I never use them.
You don't use them in your after school program?
No.
Because I give them to teachers when kids bring a lunch and forget their
Yeah.
utensils.
Well, here's a life hack I
Hey,
read.
that was a life hack.
There you go. Let's give
I'll
it
give it 2.
2. Yeah, whatever.
Maybe 1.5. Maybe 1.5.
I saw a really good life hack. This one's from idiots.
It's for idiots?
I promise you, this is what the life hack said. It said, squint your eyes when you're getting your picture taken
Oh, I saw.
to look more natural. Like you're really happy.
You're squinting your eyes, Mary.
That's because I'm really happy. Okay, so
You better. Nobody heard that.
I would like all of our listeners to take pictures before and after of themselves. One with just regular eyes and one with squinty eyes. What do y'all give that one?
A 0.
I'm crying a little bit, but I have my adult bib on so I can wipe my tears that I'm crying from laughter. Oh my goodness. Okay, so squinty eyes is getting a what? 0?
Yes, a 0.
Margie, what do you give squinty your eyes when you get your
eyes are squinty anyway.
I'm giving it a 4.
I don't even have to try on
If
that.
my eyes get any more squinty, I will be able to qualify for the Medicare. Have your epicanthic folds sewn up, you know. So
Yeah.
I've already got squinty eyes. That's why my pictures are always gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
I've got a really good one about photographing
Okay.
yourself underwater with your iPhone.
Yeah, you have to buy a new iPhone, you idiot.
My iPhone won't do that.
This is what the person
Okay.
did. They had a deep sink, and so they put their iPhone in a clear glass in the water, but not under the water, and then they put their head in the sink.
You know, I will understand totally.
Why did they do that?
Because they wanted to show themselves underwater.
Why didn't they put themselves in the glass then?
They wanted their hair to be floating around. Or
Like a mermaid.
Listen, I want to say to the Mystic audience, that if you don't listen to this podcast all the way through, I understand totally.
Okay, so is that like for influencers?
yes.
Okay, so we are not.
No.
Okay, so you put the
Okay.
iPhone in a jar.
Oh, please.
You stick your head in the sink.
And then, do
you put a
have
timer
something-
on
Yeah,
it?
you have the timer on. And
Oh,
you put
okay.
it- So you're filming yourself.
I
or-
swear, y'all, I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, I mean, you could actually do it.
You could die from this.
But you have to have. This person just had a deep sink, and so the thing it was like a vase that the iPhone was in, and it could see through, and then the person stuck their face in.
How do
my
you take the
gosh.
picture, though?
You put it on a
You
timer.
put it on a timer.
Oh, a
and then
timer. I
start.
got you.
I can't wait to see what our pictures will look like under the water.
I am.
Okay, my heart
I'm
hurts.
afraid I will die doing this like Houdini. This is how Houdini died, trying to take his picture.
Well, okay, so I'm giving that one a 1.
I'd probably give it I'd give it a 2 to try.
I'm going to give it a 2 because it's laughable.
Okay.
Oh, another one I saw that was really funny. It was quick.
Go
People
ahead, take your time.
Doing things on their computer, and they had a beach scene,
Uh-huh.
and they wanted to look like their knees were up on the beach. You know, they were looking through their knees onto the beach.
Yeah,
so
that
they
picture.
used 2 hot dogs.
I love that one. I love it.
2 little hot dogs.
And a picture of the
Back and
beach.
forth. And a picture of the beach. I thought that was.
And
so
did it
cute.
say, living my best life
Yeah. With the hot dogs.
with hot dogs? I like that one. I'm giving it a 4. Okay.
Well, I hate to go back to my serious life hacks to help people because they're not funny.
There might be. Try us out.
No, they're not. But I brought visual aids for the mystics, and my next hack is if I go to, say, a 2-hour party and I wear some something extravagant and beautiful. And it does not need washing because I didn't sweat in it and I didn't do work and I didn't clean up. I just went to the party and looked beautiful. Well, when I come home, I always think, do I wash this outfit that is really perfectly clean? So I used to always wash them. Then I realized I was ruining these outfits from washing them all the time. So what I do is, yes, I hang it up, but I take a ponytail. Are these things called squeezies or squishies or
Scrunchies, maybe?
scrudgies? Yeah. And I hang it on the hanger. And then I put the outfit up, and then I know each one that's been worn before just by looking up. So like last night before I went to the art show, I looked up at my black pants organized, and there was one with a little ponytail thingy hanging on the hanger. So I thought, I'm going to wear those. So I wore them for the second time, and then it's time to put them in the wash.
I noticed those are different colors. Do you color code you're wearing?
I would like to. And in my earlier days when I had to have everything lined up, I'd even wipe off the petals of my plants in the house. I've gotten over that now with a lot of help from my psychiatrist. So now I just slip one of these on.
I just keep wearing my clothes forever until my jeans are too baggy, and then I hang my shirts back up, but I always sniff under the armpits to see if there's any
Please
pit
don't
smell.
share. Please don't share.
And if it smells, I throw it in the wash.
Well, I lost my sense of smell, so I can't do that.
That doesn't work then. The sniff test doesn't work.
No.
Oh, I've got another good one.
Wait, we didn't rate this.
Let's rate
Oh, I'm sorry to rate.
Yeah, I'm not going to use that one because I use my sniff test and I wear them forever. So it's just going to stay at a 1 for me personally. But for you, if you lose your sense of smell because of COVID or something, I think it's a 4. Because think of all of the ways people are going to have to cope without being able to
Every
smell.
once in a while, my sense of smell comes back.
Is it startling?
It is. And the first time it did come back, and last week I had it for like 2 days. It was so much fun. I washed my hands over and over with my favorite soap.
That pine-scented soap,
Yes.
Mrs. Myers?
Yes.
Hey, do y'all remember Lady and the Tramp? And there's this big secret about Trusty's lost his sense of smell. Trusty's the bloodhound, and he'd lost his sense of smell, and all the dogs knew, and they had to keep it a secret because he acted like he still had it.
No, I don't remember this in any way.
That's
okay.
a very important sense to a
Yeah.
dog. They smell.
What
all
are you
these
rating the hanger things?
She gave it a... Oh,
Oh, I gave the hanger thing. I give it a 3. I
Yeah.
probably would never do that.
you wouldn't.
Well, just because
You should do it because you wear your products.
I know I do.
There you go.
I do. It's
Here, I'm going to give you some.
If they have the tags cut out, then I've worn the big tags. I have one about cleaning real quick that I have not tried.
Go for it.
You if you have a metal thing you need to clean, you cover it in ketchup.
No, I
And you
won't be
wipe-
doing that.
and you
Wait, the ketchup is a solvent or something?
Yeah, the ketchup, you squirt it all over, and then you let it sit a minute, and then you wipe it off, and voila. It's
Like a metal pan or a metal
like
piece of
a
art?
faucet.
Oh, like your faucet?
Like in
your
your
stainless
bathroom.
steel?
Yeah.
Weird.
Like, they don't recommend that for my fancy stainless steel oven.
I think
Well,
I'm just
maybe
going to
not
keep
in the
squirting on my
oven,
Windex.
but it's just like your, I wouldn't use it in the oven, but I would do it. Like, I want to try it on one of the faucets in my bathroom, because they get kind of,
How about your
Stuff in-
sterling silver?
well, I haven't tried it on silver.
Okay, I'm not going to rate that one at all until you've tried it, but
Yeah.
I don't see what would be better about that than just your regular cleaning products.
Well, probably not, but everybody has
It's
ketchup.
way more fun.
Yeah,
You know,
but
you
mine's organic. I'm not going to... It probably won't clean as well as the bad stuff.
And another one, banana with shaving cream to remove a scratch on your car.
Wait, a banana with shaving cream?
Well, what you do, you put the shaving cream on your scratch on your car. I'm going to use this on the scratch on my car backing out of your driveway. I dented my... Anyway.
Okay, wait a
So
minute.
it's okay. It's got the scratch that's got dirt in it. I'm sure you could just clean it with Dawn, but I'm going to try squirt it with shaving cream.
Yeah.
And then take a banana peel and rub the banana peel on to get it off. And
Okay.
that's supposed to polish it.
I want to know how that
Okay,
works.
so you let us know.
I will.
I'm not rating it because it might not work, but okay. And one of my hacks that I particularly like... Oh, did you rate that? The banana peel?
I'm going to wait till Marky's done.
Yeah,
it.
Okay.
I'm going to wait
We're
till
serious
I
about
try
this
it.
now.
I like this a lot, and that's because I'm trying to keep my carbon footprint small in my lifetime. And there are some ways I haven't been successful with that. But one thing I do is I keep a plastic pitcher that I bought at yard sales. They were 50 cents each by my bathroom faucets and my kitchen faucet. And while I'm waiting for the water to get warm to take a shower, I collect all that water in my pitcher, and that's what I water my plants with.
I'm giving it a 4 because I saw you do it the other day. So I started doing it and I used it and then I did it again and somebody else used the water and I think they might have thought it was filtered water. So I'm going to have to tell the people in my household that, of course, I drink unfiltered water, but,
I do too.
I got
So,
a little
I like
tip for watering plants. If you have some that are kind of, don't have to be watered that much, if you just take 2 ice cubes every 2 weeks and put it in the soil, that will water them.
that's the famous orchid trick.
Yeah, that was actually, someone gave me an orchid, and let me say to my friends out there, please don't give me a plant that I have to take care of. I've got one in the house that I brought in called a Ming tree, and it's absolutely beautiful, but I had nowhere to put it. So instead of that's why you have all these extra chairs at the table. That's where my chairs were. And I've got a whole nother plant that's got to come in. So don't give me a plant. But someone gave me an orchid, and it actually said that on the tag.
I got it off of a tag of something I bought at Kroger, some kind of plant.
I saw a great one that I thought was great for, I'll never use it, but after Thanksgiving, when you're giving away all your little leftovers, to buy those disposable muffin tin, like you would cook muffins in, aluminum,
And freeze them in there.
Well, not freeze them, but just give everybody a little muffin tin thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so that they can take little, rather than taking home
Oh, that's
four
a great,
Tupperwares,
that's a great
put
idea.
them in a muffin cooker, aluminum muffin cooker.
And they can just put their
and
little
then they
bits
just
in.
put the top on and go, and everybody's got. And then you stick it in the oven. Well, take your cranberry sauce out.
I love that one.
Isn't that good?
I like that too.
I like that too. If we do Thanksgiving at my house this year, I'll do that. Or
Well,
anytime you're serving a big meal. Or
I'll
you
give
can use
that
them for condiments.
I'm giving that a 4.
Me
Yeah,
too.
and you can use them. Use those for your picnic
I
condiments.
saw
as
the
well.
picture of that in some magazine.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty smart.
Well, I've got a kind of a party trick, and that is when I'm making little party sandwiches, like you cut the crust off, or if I make even a sandwich and I'm taking it to work, I cover it in a very slightly wet paper towel, and it keeps the bread soft.
Uh-huh.
And if you're going to take a whole bunch of those sandwiches to a party, just cover it. Take your paper towel and wring out all the water you've put in it, and light keeps it very nice.
I do that sometimes for my salads, so I'll think about that for my sandwiches, because sometimes I bring little sandwiches.
I've never thought of that for a salad.
There we go. We're just trading life hacks right and
know.
left.
I know. I hope I remember it, though.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I have a few fire starting tricks.
Oh, I might have the same ones. Go ahead. What you
Well,
got?
this one I saw that I thought was quite ingenious. Of course, you do have to be kind of prepared. You have to have a handheld pencil sharpener. So when you, but I do, since I'm an artist.
Yeah.
So when you're out in the woods, you get these little sticks, and then you sharpen them in the pencil sharpener. So you have all these little
Weapons.
wood chips. Okay, this is a start the fire. And then, of course, you have your chewing gum that's wrapped in aluminum foil, and you get a AA battery, and you do fold the aluminum in the okay, you fold.
You could just bring
Gosh,
some.
Mary, we're not going to be able to use this hack.
Sorry, this is ridiculous. Keep going.
You hold the battery, and you fold the aluminum foil so you can put aluminum foil on each end of the battery.
Right. Get a little
And
current.
then you hold that to those wood chips, and they burst into flames.
You could, okay. If you bring all that stuff,
Why don't you just bring a match?
Well, if you ran out of matches,
But you
Yeah.
happen to have a battery.
But you happen to have a battery, a wood chipper. You can also, now the Boy Scouts actually do this, and I did it by mistake in a classroom, not knowing what would happen. We were just seeing what would conduct electricity, and we used the stuff you clean with,
yeah,
steel
Brillo.
wool.
Oh, yeah.
And it bursts into flames. So if you carry steel wool
With a
don't-
battery?
yes, if you connect both ends of your battery to a piece of steel wool, it'll
ignite.
burn. It'll go
Will
into
it-
flames.
Will it burn your hand because you haven't gotten it
Yes.
back far enough?
Yes, but it's a fire starting hack.
Yeah.
So
that's-
I'm taking matches, girls.
well, and also coat your matches in nail polish, and then if they get wet, they'll still strike. That was one I saw.
okay. Well, these are for
you can't.
survivalists.
Can you you have to leave a little bit to strike, right? You can't have them all be ruby red.
Well, they could be clear polish.
I am going to go home and paint a bunch of nail polish, paint a bunch of matchsticks with nail
See if
polish
that
and see if it
works.
works. Not that it
Okay.
matters. I'm not going camping in the rain.
But you could show your second and third graders the trick,
Yeah, fire. Mm-hmm.
because you've probably got some little pyromaniacs in your
I'm
classes.
going to show them all kind of cool fire starting tricks. That's right.
That's a good.
But I saw one that you could just throw crumbled up Doritos. That makes a good fire
I'm giving
starter.
these all ones. I'm taking my
too.
matches. 1, 1, 1 to all those.
Yep, Vaseline on cleaning pads that you throw in the fire.
Yeah, I heard you could coat your cotton
it's
balls
petroleum.
with Vaseline too. Like
Oh.
the amount of trouble these people are going to figure out how to start a fire. Just bring some fire starting some stuff that's made for that. Anyway, it's more fun, I guess, to do it their way.
I had a life hack that I used this week. I had a house sitter while I was at the beach, and I took pictures of all the things that I wanted, all the plants I wanted him to water, and where I wanted him to put the mail, and et cetera, where he could find the keys to the shed. I just took pictures and texted them to him.
Yeah, that's one of my life hacks I use all the time. It's just taking pictures of business cards and taking pictures of everything. And it's taken me a while to remember, like to get that into my psyche. But the kids do it. Like that's how they remember everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
just sending pictures right and left rather than trying to explain.
Well, it was just so easy. Instead of saying to him, there's 2 plants outside, and if it drops below 30, blah, blah,
Right.
please cover them with the adult bib.
Next use of the adult bib. Well, I've got one I use when I clean my microwave, and that's to run some water in there for a minute before I clean it. Do you guys do that? Then
No,
everything
but-
wipes off so easily.
I like that.
You just throw the water in there, or you put it in a glass.
You put it in a water. You put it in a glass. You can even do a little
And you
tablespoon of
stick your
vinegar
hand
in there, and then you've got your. It's really easy to clean.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm going to do that. I'm giving it a 4.
I would give it a
I need to
4
do that right now because my son's been visiting for 10 days. And what is it with sons? There's literally pad thai all over the...
I know, and I don't have a son. How would I know? I know. I have a husband.
You have a husband.
Oh, so I read today though that you could also put a little cup of water in your microwave when you microwave your pizza, and then the crust will come out not chewy.
Save that again.
I don't see how that works.
I don't either, but I'm curious because I never heat pizza in the microwave because it destroys the crust. But this says if you put a little cup of water in there with it, so it's worth sacrificing maybe a half a piece of pizza to see if that works.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I already had pizza this week at the beach.
Okay.
So it'll take me, by the time I have pizza again, I will have forgotten this. Will you call me?
Text me next time you're cooking pizza and I'll remind you. Send me a picture of the pizza.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. What else you got?
I saw some hacks on where to hide your money.
Oh, good. That'll be a real important
and
one.
it was a cute thing because it was this couple who evidently don't trust each other, and so they were hiding money from each other all over the house. So the woman
That is
first
so
of all,
cute.
the woman first of all, she takes a bar of soap, she drills into it, and then she rolls up the money into the soap, and then puts something on the other end. So she has that hidden.
And so her husband doesn't shower
well,
or use soap.
she has her own soap.
Okay.
And then hiding your money under your hairbrush, you can take the bottom out of your hairbrush and put the money in there and then put it back.
Oh, okay.
So that was another one they did. And then
I would forget every place I had put money.
then they put their money, then she put her money in a lipstick tube that was almost empty. And then she rolled it up and put it in the tube and put it in her cosmetics so he would never wear the lipstick.
Never.
But then she knew he had found some of her money. So he was in the bathroom and he said, "Oh, I'm in the bathroom." So he took the toilet paper thing, not the toilet paper, the metal thing that holds the roll. And he took out the inside, put the money in there.
Oh.
Is this life hates or life hacks?
This is life hack.
I think you typed in accidentally life hates.
And you could also hide
The way to treat
you
person
you could put
you're
your
living
money
with.
in your iPhone holder.
These poor rich people have so many problems. That was a
know.
big theme in Breaking Bad is where to hide all that money.
Yeah, they would
Yes.
have to have drilled a lot of soap.
A lot. What kind of things do you guys hide from your significant others? I hide
Everything.
my toolbox.
Everything.
Like I always, poor Joe, he's like, "Do you know where there's a hammer?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm." I know where there's a wire cutter. I know where there's some scissors.
Oh,
Not
Wayne
gonna
is
tell
well
ya.
my husband's very organized.
Do you
He's the
think he
one-
hides things from you?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he does.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The marijuana for sure.
He doesn't smoke anymore. He has edibles.
Well, let's see. I like this one, and I don't think you'll find it online because I invented it. And that is, I have a lot of dishes that are handmade by artists, and so they're not your normal shapes, and it would be a shame if they're expensive. So if they broke, it'd be a shame. So every time I get a padded envelope from Amazon, I put my little party dishes in there that I use and stack them.
Mm-hmm. But then you have to remember they're there, so you don't go get
No,
an envelope.
No, I know they're there because I do it all the time. I keep them under the. Now, my real dishes that we eat out of every day, of course, I would never do this, but I don't know, maybe not everyone has funky dishes for parties, but I do.
That's cool.
And they're in Amazon envelopes.
Well, you got to have something to do with those because we end up saving those, but for what? We don't send out that many packages.
You can give them to my friend that has an eBay business.
Okay, I'll just keep saving them then.
Yeah.
So I've ribbed on my husband a little bit in this podcast, but I do have the life hack to a successful marriage of how to stay together in your marriage. Do y'all want to hear it?
Yes.
Yes, I think we
For
need it.
sure.
Okay, here it is.
And everybody in the listening off
The
audience
secret
that's
to
married.
staying married is to not get divorced.
Oh, that was.
You're welcome. That's my life hack. We're going on 30-something years. Oh, Gail doesn't like me clicking my pencil.
Well, I'm afraid it's being picked up on the microphone. Yes, see, audience, what I have to put up with.
I did find a few drawing hacks that, and many of them I kind of knew, but one that I really didn't think of that much is to photograph all your work in sunlight because it's the best light you
Yeah.
can get. Instead of having an elaborate, if you can move whatever you're photographing, and watch for shadows. Another one that I had a friend that drew all the time in ballpoint pen, and it really is an excellent thing if you want to get subtle shading because the ballpoint pen doesn't make a permanent. It's like you can,
scritch with it.
Yeah, and that I had forgotten about that, and I've got to tell my Ollie drawing class I've got to get them some little ballpoint pens because I've taken them my pen,
Your tool pens.
But this one, if they really wanted to get like lighter grays, the ballpoint work really good.
Okay.
That is good. Well, I have one left, and it involves clothes. And when I was talking about my carbon footprint, it's going to be large because I'm a clothes freak. So I have lots of things to worry about with clothes.
I'm
But
glad I'm not.
oh yeah, Margie. Margie just has her own clothes line. But anyway, I wear a lot of sports bras because I go to Tai Chi and go to swimming in the morning. And so when I open the drawer with all the sports bras, I think, which one of these have I worn? 'Cause,
Don't you have your little
Back
tag?
to the wear.
No, I turn them inside out if I've worn them.
There you go.
So I can look at my drawer and go, I can wear that one. It doesn't stink.
Nice. Oh, it's time for us to close out, but I bet you we have a mystic moment we could share. Who's got a mystic moment?
I've got a very serious one.
Okay.
It's not a joke, so y'all don't laugh and don't rate it. I went to a beautiful music thing. I don't know what you'd call it, but it was a pianist who reminded me a little bit of Liberace. But y'all don't probably even know who that is out there. But he was Dutch from the Netherlands, but now he lives in the United States. He did a program at our big Methodist church here along with an orchestra. And the orchestra was made up of our Auburn Community Orchestra, some of the university people, and the Columbus Orchestra. So it was a huge orchestra. There must have been 25 violins and violas, including Mystic Mary's daughter, Emma. And but the artist's name was Jan. What would that be?
Jan. I don't know.
Jan
Jan?
Mulder. I went. I was invited to go, and I went, and it was the most beautiful music I've ever heard in my whole life. I didn't even know what to think about it. It was amazing. And so the next day I called one of my friends in the orchestra, and she's been in many orchestras. She's a well-known flute player, flautist. And I called her to thank her for her part in this. And I said, I've never seen anything quite this beautiful and heard anything quite this beautiful. And she said, me either.
Wow.
Wow.
So it was amazing to me. And I'm not very musical. As y'all know, you've probably heard my woes over trying to learn to play the keyboard, and it is seriously a woe. So I'm not a musical person, but I was totally impressed.
Yay. That sounds wonderful.
My mystic moment was to get a glimpse and to be able to hug our mystic Marion, who
Yay.
escaped from her caretaking duties of her aged parents and was able to come to this art opening
That was my mystic moment too. I got to hug her.
I know, and I mean, and she looks fantastic. You know, she's surviving this really arduous task of taking
Caring
care
for
of
your
aging
parents.
that,
While continuing to have your own life.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
Nobody can actually stop what they're doing.
So, and she was actually wearing one of my dresses.
well, no
Oh,
wonder
was
she looks so
she?
gorgeous.
She had them with an owl on.
Oh, she sure did. And she looked glamorous.
She was.
Yeah.
If y'all have not inquired about Mystic Margie's line of clothing, just say so on our website?
Our Facebook page.
Our
we
Facebook
don't do
page.
anything with our website.
Our Facebook page, and I'm sure, I have no doubt in my mind that Margie will be getting in touch with you.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
www.margiebr.com. That's www.margeebr.com.
And if you want to inquire about the adult bibs, you'll have to do that on the Mystic Facebook page.
So my mystic moment was I was reading a book by Frances Mays called A Place in the Sun, and it's just not a place in the sun, a place in the world. And it's about the whole idea of home. And it's great. She's lived in a lot of interesting places, but it's not just, it's more broad than just the actual physical places where you live. It's a beautiful book.
Well, what is the name of the book?
A Place in the World.
Oh, A Place in the World. Okay.
Yes.
What else did she write?
Under the
Under the Tuscan Sun.
Tuscan,
and
yeah.
then
Not the Tucson sun.
Yeah.
Tuscan.
Yeah.
She's got several books about Tuscany, and also some. I love her book called Under Magnolia, just about growing up in the South, and also because she does a lot of talking about my mama, which is really
Where
fun.
is she from?
She's from Fitzgerald, Georgia,
Ah.
but she and Mama were college friends. But anyway,
Was this book beautiful to you because you have this relationship with
No,
her?
you know, it's a beautiful book, and the whole idea of home and where you land is powerful anyway. So it's a good book altogether, and I'm not alone in that. She's a best-selling author. But I was reading it, and I put it down to go, I don't know, get coffee or something, and I picked up my phone and my Twitter. On Twitter, I pretty much follow authors or people having something to do with writing. And somebody said, oh, I'm reading this best book. And the person took a picture of the page that she was reading from the book. And it was the same page that I was reading when I put the book down.
Oh, that is a mystic moment.
And it was fabulous.
It's a mystic moment.
That was mystic. Okay, so this rounds us to the end, folks.
Yes.
And if we would like to hear your life hacks. So I'm speaking to, oh, by the way, let's dedicate this to Bartholomew, because our fan, Bartholomew, asked one day, do you guys have any suggestions
Life
for
hacks.
better living? Because, yeah, it's time. So
Yes,
that's
definitely.
it. That's,
Thank you for remembering that.
Yeah, so go for it, Bartholomew. Write the hacks and share yours. And everybody remember, be the flame.
Not the moth.
Not the moth.